Hi and welcome. Today I'm settling again into some gentle watercolor illustration, but before we start I need to take a moment to re-ink my pen, to slow down and prepare the tools to ease us into the page. I'm not going to lie, this bit always makes me a little bit nervous. So I'm going to be using just waterproof ink today, a far cry from last week's video where I was using an ink that was water soluble. So you can see here the difference. The line on the left is waterproof, and here you can see me activating the ink with water. The colour that I'm using today is called Earl Grey. I'm going to draw directly with my fountain pen, but you can of course use anything you want to if you want to join in, and I provide you with a free outline so that if you really are struggling with the drawing, then please take advantage of that, and I'll tell you later how you can have access. You can see me here just flicking through my sketchbook, and you may remember an old friend from last week. I redrew this in my sketchbook and I really like the layout that I put with it. The sky is the limit when it comes to art journaling, and it's really up to you what you do. But today we're going to be painting berries, and here is the outline that I mentioned just now. I'll tell you later on in this video how you can have access to that for free, and it's yours to keep. I'm going to be drawing directly onto the watercolor paper with my pen. If this is something that you don't feel comfortable with, that's absolutely fine. It's entirely up to you whether you want to trace it down or just take a chance and paint along with me. Once again, there's no rush here, just marks, pigment and a little bit of time just to notice how things unfold. Now we are not looking for perfection, not in these lessons. It's all about just being creative. The reason I enjoy drawing onto my paper directly with a pen is it takes out the frightening part of trying to get it right. I know that if I get it wrong, it doesn't matter. I can just work my way around it, and that's the whole point here. When I paint over this with watercolour, these lines are not going to budge because the ink is waterproof. In last week's demo, I showed you how to draw and paint using an ink that was water soluble, and of course the effect that you're going to have with that is completely different. But sometimes it's nice to enjoy a more structured line where your watercolour doesn't ease into the ink, where you can keep it tidy and contained, but still be creative in the process. So remember, this is just gentle botanical illustration, gentle watercolouring, nothing stressful. Just draw on the paper. Don't be scared of drawing is what I'm trying to say. I think sometimes there's always a pressure to get things right, and this is something I've touched upon a lot on my channel lately, because I know that sort of the first moment of putting pen or pencil onto paper can be the most scary mark, which is why I'm doing it in pen. There's something about it that really switches your mindset, because you know that if you get it wrong, and you can see I've made a mistake here on one of the berries, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter, it's a painting, and I will be proud to have this in my journal because it just looks really, really lovely, and it's something that I've done. Maybe I'm not in the right mood, maybe I'm not feeling like painting one day, but by just getting out of my own head and putting pen onto paper, it does make a difference. So this is how she's looking at this point. So because I've used a waterproof ink, I'm going to add watercolor paint to the top of this now. In last week's video, the paint would merge into the ink, but this time we're going to be making it a little tidier. So the paints that I'm using are from Ray's Blooms palette. They're from Deep Deep Light, but of course use any colours that you want to, it doesn't matter. All you're going to need is a yellow, a red, an orange and a brown. That's all you're going to need. Or add a little bit of blue. The reason I'm adding blue paint to one of the leaves is because I think there's a little bit of blue in there somewhere. And because we're not being accurate or fussy today, I just wanted to add that in. This Tintoretto 2 brush has a really fine point, and it means I can get really close to the berries without that watercolour paint going onto them. So I'm just continuing through the leaf here. The colours that I'm using are ultramarine, and I believe the green is solstice fern, but any green and any blue will do. I'm going to try and stay as neatly within the pen line as I can, because it just makes this painting look really put together without it being too detailed. I'm just adding yellow to the berries to begin with, and then I'm going to be dropping in the red and the orange while that paint is still wet to give it a really soft, blurry look. I want the berries to look nice and soft and juicy, and I don't want them to look too structured or too tight. So before we carry on, I just want to mention that if you'd like to paint along with this piece, I've shared a free outline and reference photograph over on my Patreon, and they are available for free to the free membership level and of course my paid members, and they are purely to support this video. My paid Patreon content is very, very different from this, where I teach more structured botanical painting tutorials in depth. So if that's something you'd like to investigate further, I'm just going to show you a brief overview now, and then we can come straight back to the painting. Earlier I mentioned Patreon, which is where I slow everything down and go deeper into botanical painting. Alongside the free outlines, there are 3 membership levels for anyone who'd like more time, detail and guidance with me right here in the studio. Now, Clematis is the core membership tier. This is where I share longer, more considered botanical art tutorials, materials, outlines, reference photograph, in-depth process, so that you can create art that you are proud of no matter what level that you're at. And for those who'd like more personal support, my Rose tier includes everything from the other 2 membership levels, along with one-to-one time with me via video call, individual critique and a video response made just for you. Magnolia is my monthly mini tier. Now this includes shorter, more relaxed lessons, things like quick doodles, small studies, podcasts and informal explorations that fit easily around your everyday life. Remember that if you're a member of the Clematis and Rose tier, you'll also have full access to everything in the Magnolia tier, so nothing is missed. All of the tutorials across Patreon are suitable for all levels. I teach using a learn to paint as you paint approach, so whether you're just starting out or whether you've been painting for years, you can follow along at your own pace. Patreon is also very easy to use now. Everything is kept in one place. You can use the search bar to quickly find the tutorial or topic that you're looking for without having to scroll endlessly. And if you're planning to stay for a while, do take advantage of the annual membership. My Patreon is about making space for depth, learning and evolving botanical art practice. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, we'd love to see you there. Okay, so I've just added a little bit of a colour called prickly pear. I forgot what it was there for a second. So any brown colour will do, and you can see me dropping in a beautiful red colour. This is Mayan, but like I said, you can use any brown or any red that you want to. You don't have to use the same tools as me, okay? It's all about practicing with what you have and seeing the results that you get. That is the beauty of watercolour painting. I've just done a couple more leaves offline and I'm going to be showing you the rest here. So I'm using the green colour straight onto the watercolour paper. The paper, by the way, that I'm using is a handmade paper. It's actually the Beetle Sketchbook from Deep Light. I'm really enjoying this little sketchbook, which I've added to a leather journal. The leather journal, in case you're wondering, is actually, I think I bought it when I was living in Spain in a little artisan leather shop. So it's quite unique, but rather lovely, and I'm going to keep my journal in this and continue to build on it so that I've got this lovely little memoir of all my paintings, and I might be doing some commonplace writing in here as well. Certainly I'll be putting some notes in here and little writings about what the plants are, so that I've got a lovely little encyclopedia of my own to look back on. These are not meant to be strict botanical paintings. It's just about art journaling, being creative and relaxing, and that's what it's all about. The reason I provided you with a free outline is because I know sometimes the drawing element can be a little bit scary. I remember when I started painting, the drawing used to put me off and maybe prevent me from painting something I wanted to. So I started to trace down my outlines because it meant that I could get on with the watercolor painting and practice my watercolor skills, and I didn't want the drawing part to stop me from being able to do something I really enjoy. So if you want to trace it down, that's absolutely fine, which is why I give you the free outline. So I'm just adding a bit of contrast here to the bottom of the berries. I think they might be rose hips. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are they berries? Are they rose hips? Are they one and the same? It doesn't matter. So I like the way the paint sits on this paper because it's very soft and very natural looking and not too strong a colour. Remember, with watercolour, if you want to make it lighter, you just add more water. Every week here on YouTube, I provide you with a free video. So if you're interested in this kind of content, maybe you'd like to consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the little notification bell on the side there. It means that every time I upload, you'll be told about it and you won't miss out. And also, you might want to give me a little like by hitting that like button down below. I really appreciate your support. Just adding some detail here. Like I said, nothing too fussy. I'm just going to be adding some contrast here. The same colour. The colour is called Prickly Pear. This is one of Deep Light's really magical colours. It's one of these colours that shifts when you add a lot of water. Today I'm just using it in a small quantity, so you're not going to see that magnificent colour switch, but I do like using it along with another colour called Partridge for my branches and twigs and anything like that, because it just looks really natural, and I like that colour very much. All the materials I'm going to be putting in the description box underneath, so if I am going too fast for you, just check out. I have got a discount code as well for Deep Light, so just check that out. All the links will be in the description underneath. I'm just adding a little bit of watered down Prickly Pear to that, and then on the top of these berries I'm adding a colour called Reed Buff, just to soften out that colour a little bit, because I did feel they were looking a little bit too yellow. And then I add more yellow. That's what it is, right? It's just adding colours as you go along and making it up. The paint is dry, so I'm just going over the leaves again with the same colour as before, this time just adding another layer of paint. Although I like the soft look of this painting, I did feel that it needed a little bit more colour just to boost up that colour a little bit. So I'm using a solstice fern on this bottom leaf here, and I do add a little bit of blue to it in a moment, just to make it a little bit of a stronger colour. When you're layering with watercolour, it's important that each layer is dry before adding the next, because otherwise the paints will merge together and you can sometimes get that muddy look, which we want to avoid with watercolour. But as long as your paint is dry and as long as you've added thinner layers, you should be okay. Adding blue to the yellow. It kind of gives the same colour, and I've added a little bit more of the ultramarine to that colour mix there, just to have a darker value on the base of this particular leaf. Just adding a final few tweaks here to the painting, and we are almost done. Just adding a bit more colour to the top leaf. The same mix as before. This is a little bit of solstice fern with a bit of ultramarine. And we're finished. I hope you enjoy this painting. This is what the finished painting looks like. Thank you so much for watching my video, and this is one that we did from last week, remember, that I showed you at the start, and I'm really proud to have this as part of my journal. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.